Hey, this is Pants for Squares 41, and this is the second part of the Bob Long Marq Victory review. So, we left off with the trigger, and I think we finished that. We covered that one. So we're going to the ASA. This is the cam drive ASA, and obviously most ASA is pretty simple. It's off, it's on. The only concern I had with this ASA was the fact that the lever's on the bottom. So you're sliding and you hit something, like even just a rock on the field. Is it going to pop loose? And I would say most likely not. I've never had it break loose, and the nice thing is Bob Long kind of accounted for that. He put kind of like a lock into it when it's aired on. It takes a little bit of force to actually crank this thing over. So keep that in mind. That don't let it decide why you're going to buy this gun, because it's not going to pop loose. So great ASA. Now the other thing I want to talk about is the air through, and you hear a lot of arguing about whether macro line's better or air through is better, and objectively you gotta say that neither is better, because as long as it performs, I mean the main objective is to get the air from the ASA to the HPR, and as long as it does that, it really doesn't matter. It's all personal preference. Air through is just going to go through the frame and into there. Macro line just goes straight from there to there. As long as neither of them, get messed up, there's no difference between the two besides the look. And you'll hear people say, "Oh, well, the macro line protects the trigger," but that's what this thing does. That's called a trigger guard, and it does exactly what it sounds like. It guards the trigger. And second of all, macro line, if it did get hit that hard that it's going to damage your trigger, your macro line's probably going to get so jacked up that you won't even be able to use it. So you shouldn't be using your macro line as a trigger guard, because it's probably going to destroy your gun anyways, or destroy your air line anyways. So there's really no difference between the two. As long as the air gets from there to there, you're fine. So now next we're going to move on to the board on this gun. Currently, it's running the Tadao Ryujin board. I'm pretty sure that comes stock in the Victories when they're released. So that's that. You can also get the Tadao like Yakuza OLED board. There's the Virtue and the Virtue OLED. There's the Seventh Element. There's Frenzy. There's a bunch of boards out there you can get to your personal preference. I personally prefer the Ryujin board. I think it's a well done board, well organized, and easy to go through all the settings. Just a simple trigger and button operated. So now we're going to get into the gun and the actual market these days. So keeping in mind that today is December 11th, 2012, the price for these guns approximately, according to I would say PB Nation, is around $450 to $600, and of course it depends on upgrades and condition of the gun. I got mine for $500. It's got its nicks and stuff, but it performs flawlessly. It works just fine. It's never had a problem. So now keep in mind the price now, because this gun is still the latest and greatest. Kids are always out there going, I want the latest and greatest gun. This is still it, because it still shoots 12.5 PSP and 15 semi. And what else can you ask for? I mean, those are the two tournaments for PSP and MPPL. So there's not much else you need out of a gun. You don't need a $1,300 gun that does the same thing this does. This is $500. That's it's less than half that price. So keep in mind that when you're buying a gun, that this gun is a very very good gun for tournament grade stuff. And you don't need to go out and buy the new DM13 for $1,300 when, first of all, the efficiency is way less than this gun. It's a spool valve gun. The efficiency is just not there for a DM13 compared to a Victory. You get your little bit of kick because it's a pop-it, but you're looking at a gun that can perform just as well as a DM13 for less than half the price. Why don't you go out and buy one right now? So I'm going to leave the review right there with that, and we're going to test shoot the gun. Keep in mind that these test shooting videos are actually going to be playing videos with a GoPro attached to the barrel. So they won't be like my old reviews where I actually had a chance to shoot all the modes and stuff like that. So go check out the shooting video stuff, and then leave your comments on this review.